President Obama were to be watching Straight Talk Africa right now, and you know he is on the verge, of course, of going to your homeland, what would you say to him?
What I would tell the president is simple.
Look in the camera and talk
What
to
I
him.
would tell the president is simple. It is about your legacy. And if you have to remember what you have done for Africa, it should be what you have done to the people of Africa, not the dictator of Africa. The continent has been, African Union is 50 years. Since the last 50 years, we did not see that much. So if president has to address these issues, I think that investing in the peoples, not in these dictators. And I would want to give that example of my country again, giving an Ethiopia, for instance. Ethiopia is the headquarters of African Union. And African Union, that if we want the reform, should we not be living by example of that? So if the country that where you live in, where the base of African Union is based on that, it's a country where there's a young lady from here, an Ethiopian woman who lives in Nebraska. She went back to Ethiopia to get an identity for ID card. And so once she went there, they put the name of your ethnic groups. The young woman, she's half Amara, half Oromo. She said that Amara plus Oromo equal, put whatever you want. The officials say, why? Why do you want to do that? So my point is, having a countries of Ethiopia, almost 90 million, like if
in fact, 95.8
almost it's going to be 100 million people. And this year, we're talking about the young people here. Look in my countries. We have lots of our young people, this idea of economy is booming. Africa is rising. If Africa is rising, our young people will not be dying in the Red Sea trying to run away from Africa. If Ethiopia economy is booming, why are our young people, organs being harvested in the Middle East trying to go somewhere? So my simple point is, if the president really want to, this legacy on stakes, side with the people of Africa. For example, in Ethiopia, 2 laws. And I would like the president to meet with the Ethiopian opposition or a journalist, even the family of the journalists. Number one, this law, anti-terror law, and the charity proclamation law, which hold the Ethiopian hostage, should be repealed, and the president have the ability to do that.
But when it comes to economic growth or economic development, surely you are not suggesting or claiming that it is not reflected in people's stomachs or in people's communities.
Oh, excellent. You mentioned a very
good point. There are roads there, I have seen.
Look, there's a road. You cannot measure economy by the road. Look at how Ethiopians live in those buildings on the street. You cannot measure economy. The economy of Ethiopia, they're saying the economy is booming. Yes, it's booming, but for one ethnic group and few elite, not the people of Ethiopia.
If there was one thing that President Obama could do about dictatorship, frankly, in Africa, we have not more than 30 seconds.
Yes.
What could he do?
What would he do for the, to side with the people of Africa? Not only the rhetoric.
How?
Like, for instance, that it was done, and it's in Europe. Empower the civil society. In Africa, these African leaders, like as you look at it now, most of them are changing, the constitution for, to 4th term. 4th term means a lifetime, because once you never have a leader that will change it from 3rd term to 4th term, thinking the other will change. Civil society has to be empowered.
If somebody were to ask you any particular reason why Africans on the ground do not prevent that from happening?
Oh, yeah, simple. Because the big man, the man with the gun. For example, we have a very smart, very bright Ethiopian. Why are the most bright, brilliant of our society living abroad rather than home? Because this man, big man of guns, would not allow us to do that.